I saw many miracles in the house. Swami walked in and out of that house occasionally, and especially at certain times when I needed his guidance. If you just step away, step aside, thinking, dreaming, you will always get his guidance. Meditate, and you will hear his voice. It comes in, and it's loud and clear as to what he wants. So I listen.
Sairam, dear listeners, welcome to Sai SOUL 100. Our guest today is Sister Marie Captain, who is joining us from Hilltown, Pennsylvania. She attends the Sri Satya Sai Center of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Sairam, Sister Marie, thank you for joining Sai SOUL 100.
Sairam, I'm very happy to be here today.
Sairam, thank you. Please share your story.
My story is a little unique, but then again, it's really not unique. You know, when Swami calls us, he calls us. I was attending some energy classes and Reiki healing classes back in, I would say, the mid-90s. And our teacher, who was Altan Kamadan, was presenting these classes. He had gone to Swami and asked Swami if he was to carry this message, this healing method called the Melchizedek method, and there's 5 levels of studies, to the world. And Swami said, yes, do. And so he set out on a path, and he had over 160 centers or practitioners around the globe. Then a tragedy happened, and his gallbladder burst. So he was immediately rushed to emergency, but they couldn't save his life. So at that point, we had had deep meditations, and we called in ascended masters. And Satya Sai Baba was one of those masters. He said that Satya Sai Baba was an avatar walking the earth. And all of us were very curious about this. Some of his students went to Puttaparthi. I did not have that chance to go to Puttaparthi at the time, but I was interested now to know who this avatar is. So I usually vacationed in Sedona, Arizona for 4 weeks at a time. And one summer I was there, and on a bulletin board in the local, it's called a health food store, or, you know, like a Whole Foods, there was a little message saying that there was a Sai Baba center, and they were having a meeting on Thursday night. They had a telephone number. So I called, I attended. Well, after I attended, I knew that I was home. We had bhajans, we had study circle, we did chanting, and all of it resonated with me. So I was prepared to come back the next week. Then, since I was coming to Sedona for 4 weeks, and I had been doing that for quite some time, I asked Swami in my meditation, what do you think, Swami? Should I buy a little condo here since I've been coming back and forth? Please give me a sign. Okay. So I'm on the way to the meeting, and it was a short drive. And around the corner, there was a sign, and it said for sale. So I copied down the number. I proceeded to go to the weekly meeting. And after the meeting, I called the number. No one answered. So I decided, okay, I'll go home and come back tomorrow morning. Well, I went back where the for sale sign was, and the sign was no longer there. So I was really confused. So another week went by, and I went back again. Lo and behold, there was the sign. So I decided I would just knock on the door. So I knocked on the door, and a gentleman answered, and he said, yes, I'm selling my house. The sign went in because I went to do a lecture down in Phoenix. So he didn't want to leave the sign out. So he said, come on, sit down. And I sat down, and he said, would you like to tour the house? And I did. And it was really, really beautiful. And we sat down once again. And I forgot to mention that this house had jasmine in the front yard, jasmine in the backyard, roses of all colors. It had the most beautiful flowers. It had orange trumpet vines. So right away, I was just looking at the beauty of the property. And it also had 2 tall, mature linden trees. So we sat down, and he said, I want you to write down on a piece of paper how much you think that I will be selling the house for. And he said, I'm also going to write too. So we wrote at the same time. Then he said, show me your paper and I'll show you my paper. So we showed each other our papers, and it was for the exact number, price-wise. So before I got on the plane, I had all paperwork in order, and I bought the house on my summer vacation. So I went back in the fall and continued going to the meetings. Then a year later, the gentleman named Joseph, his wife became suddenly very ill. And we were all at a meeting, and he said, I can no longer have the center at my house. My wife is very ill. Who would like to take over the center? No one raised their hands. So I raised my hand and I said, I'll take the center. Well, his house and my house were walking distance. So we prepared a day that would be good for us. And all the center members walked down the bhajan books, walked down our study circle notes, and his immense library. So the center stayed at my house for about 10 to 12 years. And I saw many miracles in the house. Swami walked in and out of that house occasionally, and especially at certain times when I needed his guidance. The first miracle that I witnessed was my first meeting in my house. And I had forgotten to get some flowers at the supermarket because it was springtime and the flowers hadn't bloomed yet. So one of the Sai devotees on her way into the meeting said, you should really go and cut down some of those roses that are in the front of your yard. I said, roses? I said, I looked out there yesterday and nothing was ready to come in. Nothing had bloomed. I even checked in the morning. She said, no, go on out there and look. So lo and behold, there was about 8 roses that bloomed, and I cut them down and I put them on Swami's altar for our meeting, the first meeting there. Other miracles that have happened, I needed to take 2 of the devotees to pick them up in my car to go to a retreat that was happening in Prescott. And Prescott's about an hour away from Sedona. And I told them that I would pick them up at 5 a.m. So then at that time, I don't remember having a cell phone, and I had no alarm clock. So I again asked Swami, I said, look, you have to help me with this. Please help me get up or give me a sign. Went to sleep, and at about 4:45, Swami's hands appeared, just the one hand in my room, with a lit match illuminating the whole room. So I thanked Swami, and I was able to pick up my my center members and take them off to their retreat. other miracles that have happened in the house, in my backyard. I like to take pictures. I'm a picture person. I like to take pictures of nature. And I looked into the camera, in my camera, and saw two people. The two people that were walking in my backyard were Jesus and Swami, just walking in the backyard, back and forth. And I didn't snap the picture because I was in awe of what was taking place. Although if I did, I'm sure I would have captured their image, but I was stunned. I was really stunned. I couldn't believe it.
Why do you think that Swami gave you that ability to see Jesus and Swami through the lens?
I think he was saying that this particular place was a holy or sacred area, and that people that came to the center were, again, all religions, and that he wanted to let me know that he and Jesus maybe are one. And I had to ponder this for a while. One of the other events that happened in that house was when Swami passed. I was in Florida watching my son play a tennis tournament for his college. And we were having lunch. And at the lunch table, like across from the lunch table, was a large screen TV. And on the TV, there was a short announcement that spiritual leader, such as Sai Baba, had passed. And there was, at the table, for me and my son, it was just complete silence. I got a phone call from the gentleman who usually looks after my house, especially when I went back to Westchester County, New York, from Jose. Jose said, did you know you left your front door open, your two back glass sliding doors open, and your little gate on the side of the house, a little wooden gate? And I said, no. I said, I made sure I closed the doors, the sliding glass doors, locked them over, and the front door, locked that over. And I would never leave the gate on the side of the house, without locking that over. So I said, look, I'm going to come back on the next flight. So I got on the next flight and got back to the house. And when I got back to the house, there was an ethereal being that greeted me at the door. It was an ethereal being dressed in white who looked straight in my eyes, and I looked straight in the being's eyes. And then he disappeared. He or she, not sure, disappeared. I walked into the house and I had a really strong feeling that something had taken place, but I wasn't sure. So I went into the puja room and sat and meditated for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then the realization came to me. I believe that Swami came, unlocked all the doors, and made a final trip throughout my house, and then left out the front door. And I was left with that feeling. Also, I had a little lamp in my puja room that I had set up 12 years ago. And it was like my eternal flame, Swami's eternal flame in the house. I never changed that light bulb in 12 years. And the same with the vibhuti. I never had to purchase vibhuti or send for vibhuti. The vibhuti was always there. And the little vase that I brought in that had the flowers from the garden, had vibhuti on it several times. Instead of being, really sad about his passing, it filled my heart. So I know that his work just needs to be carried on, no matter what. So that was the message I received. Another quick story that I just remembered was my son had bought a guitar, and he wanted to learn to play guitar. I also play guitar, and so I went to a music store and we purchased a guitar. And he said, my son said, I will be able to at least pay for half of the guitar because I'm working this summer. And he picked out a beautiful guitar. Well, his father said the guitar was too expensive and that he would like his son to return it and buy a less expensive guitar. And of course, I was a little, upset, but I said, okay. So my son returned the guitar, bought a different guitar that he really wasn't happy with. It was okay. So I said to myself, I'm going to find out where the guitar is. I'll purchase it. And when he comes to visit in Sedona, he'll have something to play. He doesn't have to bring his guitar on the airplane. So I found out, and they said, yes, the guitar is in Queens. Would you like the guitar to go to White Plains, New York? And I said, yes, because I'll go and pick it up. Well, I got the guitar, put it on the airplane with me, took it out to Sedona, and then put it in the puja room. Well, for the next 2 weeks, I was up at 6 o'clock writing devotional music to Swami. So that guitar needed to be with me in the house in Sedona. I was sitting there playing the guitar, just playing the chords and the music and the lyrics. I had a pad and I wrote it down on a legal pad, the music and the lyrics came at the same time. Then I went over to the recording studio in Sedona and started recording that music. Then I finished the recordings in New York City in a recording studio there. And then I didn't release the music until last year. The music was done, but it was being held until the appropriate time. If you just step away, step aside, I know that I feel that thinking, dreaming, you will always get his guidance. Meditate, and you will hear his voice. It comes in, and it's loud and clear as to what he wants. So I listen.
Yes. So his voice is loud and clear. We just need to be in a place to be able to silence ourselves and to tap into that. And it seems like Swami has guided you through that, and for you to have that experience of listening to his voice, what a blessing. And would love to hear your music too. So let's share that music with the world. And it has been released last year, but let's share that music with the world and inspire and uplift everybody who hears it, and also hearing the stories as well.
Yes. The CD is called Satya Sai Baba Love, and it is on Spotify. So you can find it there. It has a picture of Swami coming out of the red rocks of Sedona. And he's got the world and a big heart. So he is still here with us, trying to mend, heal, and send as much love to this planet as possible.
Shanti Om, 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 Om.
Sairam, Sister Marie, thank you for being here at Sai Soul 100 and sharing these beautiful stories.
Well, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Sairam, dear listeners, thank you for listening to Sai Soul 100 with Sister Marie Captain. I'm Prabha Swaminathan. Until next time, Jai Sairam.